All right, guys, let's dive right into it. I hope everyone is doing well, having a good week. This is your first time joining the webinar. Welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. So David, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for another webinar. We've got a really great and exciting tip of the week that I'm really excited to share with you all. So really looking forward to that one.
I see a lot of names and faces here that are already part of the Facebook group, but I also see a lot of new names here. Welcome. You can join our Facebook group at brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. It's a great way to keep the conversations going in between these webinar Wednesdays. There's a lot of constructive topics and discussions started there. I'm in there myself, answering questions, providing some feedback, but it's a really good community and a great place to connect with fellow membership and directory website owners. So you can head on over to that URL and click on the blue join button. And then also for those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. Just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. It's turned into a really great, I guess, channel and platform for us to share some of the newer features that are built into the platform week after week. What we really try to focus on in the webinars are the features that can help you leverage and grow your community a bit faster or quicker. Things like setting up your website, increasing traffic to your website. We do talk about how to convert visitors into subscribers or paying members on your website quite often. And one of my favorite topics are things that relate to improving your website's navigation, creating a good workflow for your visitors and your members. So if you have questions on any of these topics or anything about your membership website, please save them. We'll do our best to get to as many questions as we can today. All right, and we have a small handful of new BD Lab updates to share. I have to say the last couple weeks, the team has been busy patching up really small issues, making the software more cohesive and stable. So the things I'm gonna list here today are more tangible things that we can see, feel, and touch on the platform. And I'll start with the top one at the list here. We do have a new add-on, the Premium Content Blocks add-on. We're starting with about 25 of these now, and what this does is it unlocks additional blocks of content that you can use in the web page builder. This is going to be part of the tip of the week today. We're going to review this, but I'll quickly show you where you can find this in your dashboard when you have this add-on. And of course, if you have the VIP add-ons club on your site, this is already available on your site in the admin area. So if you head on over to the web page builder, I'll just click on new page for now. Now the basic elements and individual elements that were there before are still there for everyone. We can see them here. I'll just toggle these closed now, but you'll see you can close these. The individual and basic content blocks are there for everyone still, but I'll continue to close these. We now have call to action blocks, feature lists, so if you need to list features, team blocks, if you want to list your team members, and some general content blocks. These are really good combinations of text, images, titles, and buttons that can kind of help you create some of your landing pages or web pages a bit more efficiently and quicker. So here it is when they're all closed. You'll have these additional blocks in the sidebar here. What's really good about this is now that we have this, we can build off of this. And I don't have a date or anything, but we'll add more blocks in the future. And also what we want to do is with this add-on is include more blocks when you're creating your email templates as well. So you can stack blocks in your email templates and create more designed email newsletters when you're sending them to your members. So really glad that we got this one released, and we'll talk a bit more about this in the tip of the week today. All right, this next one is a really good one, especially if you have multiple sites and they're pending being launched, or you're still working on setting up your initial site. We have always had the ability to have like a coming soon splash page. So when you connect your domain name, the home page is kind of obfuscated and blocked, and it shows like a pre-registration form. Prior to this update, the coming soon page was an HTML widget. You could always edit it, but you had to know code to edit it. So now if you are using my website is coming soon splash page as your home page, it now works with the web page builder. And I'll show you where you can find this. If your website is already up and running, probably don't need this, but if you're still working on your website, you may want to throw this up, and then you can start marketing your website to allow people to pre-register. It's a great way to get people interested even before you launch, pre-launch. Or if you have multiple websites and you're just not working on some of them yet, you can put a coming soon page, put some of the interesting things your website is going to accomplish or do, or services it's going to provide, and you can start building a list of people to market to once you are ready to launch your website live. So where you can find this, and I'll backtrack here, we'll go to the main dashboard again. So this is going to be in the general settings. And in the general settings, this setting has always been here to set your website to like a live mode or to a staging mode. So I'll scroll down here and we see website status. And quick tip, if you're ever looking, there are quite a few settings here. If you are looking for something specific and you know what the setting is called, you can always use the search filter here. And I'll type website status in this example and it takes me right there. So I've set this site to staging mode already, but generally we're all on live mode. And well, let me go to live mode real quick and save the changes, and let's go to the home page. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll go to the home page. So this is like right here, Jason 19271, directory up. And that is live mode. Now I'm going to save it in staging mode. And we now see here that I have it in staging mode. There is a little link here. It says edit coming soon page. Let me save this first. And then I'll refresh my home page once again. So now we see that it's not the home page that was there before. It's kind of like a coming soon page, really basic what I've set up. You obviously can jazz it up a bit more, but you can now edit this and make it your own. And what you could do is click on edit coming soon page, and that will take you to the web page builder. And of course you have the full resources of building a web page, even a hero section, and all the blocks that you can drag in here. So what we have by default is the coming soon form. It's basically like your contact us form, but it allows people to put their name and email address, and you can start saving those submissions, those people who fill out the form, and then market to them a bit later. Another thing, just what we've done here on the coming soon page is we've used the page options, and we've hidden the main menu that would normally show on the website, top header menu. I'll just uncheck all these for now, and we could see the difference. So we can see how we kind of got this more streamlined page here. So now we see there's a main menu and things like that, but on the coming soon page, maybe we just want a splash screen with some text and titles, and we don't really want to link everything that's in the main header of the website. So you can always go to page options and hide these things on any of your web pages actually. All right, so that is now available. This next one is related to the domain manager. This is more of a quality of life, preventing user error. So sometimes you're working on your site and you may change the URL or domain name of your site, but you've hard-coded the full old URL in maybe a menu link, or maybe when you're referencing images in the web page builder or in the footer somewhere. And so when you change your domain in the domain manager, it will auto update all the old URL references and update it with the new one. So all the links and images and anywhere else you've referenced the old domain around your site will auto update to the new domain. So to ensure everything is working properly when you do update your domain in the domain manager. So this is something you may not do frequently, but for those times when you're making a quick change, maybe in the beginning stages, or you're rebranding and you're changing your domain, the URL will auto update for you. And continued since the middle of this year in May, we've been working on speed updates, and actually just today we've pushed a batch of updates related to improving server response times, caching some data that loads on sites. So also we're not duplicating some redundant data that we call. We've improved some queries for more efficiency and a few other things. And this is a continued effort by the development team. We're working on more speed updates. Another batch will be coming through the end of this month and next month as well. I think by the end of, we're always going to be working on optimization, but I think by the end of next month, everything will be in a really good place. Everything's in a decent place right now, but a really good place by the end of next month for the majority of all websites with us. And some items coming soon, coming down the line. I did mention this in the previous webinar. The ability to include images and attachments when you're submitting support tickets from the admin dashboard. Right now, you can create a support ticket in the admin dashboard. It's just plain text that you can enter. You will soon be able to add images and attachments, and that'll allow our team to kind of help you a bit quicker when you're submitting those support inquiries. Additional speed updates, as I mentioned, some items coming through next month. Lazy loading images, that's going to improve scores tremendously across all sites. We're going to find a method to minify HTML. That's basically making the file size of your web pages a bit smaller. That also helps with load times, and a few other things such as lazy loading the Google reCAPTCHA. That's I am not a robot security. That kind of weighs down pages a bit, so we're going to find a way to make that load a bit more efficiently, all adding up to faster page speed scores for everyone. I wanted to share some year-end goals that we have internally. These are some larger projects that we hope to have completed by the end of the year or sooner. We are looking forward to creating a Zapier integration. So when you when a form is submitted on your site, you can zap that or send it to a third-party platform such as MailChimp, etc. And vice versa. If you have a MailChimp form, you can zap it into your Brilliant Directories site as a form inquiry. And also sending your member data to and from different platforms more seamlessly. So we're looking forward to breaking ground on that beginning next month, and hopefully we'll have something ready by the end of the year. Next item here are comment notifications. This is related to the post comments. It's become really popular. It's become a really popular tool. The ability for members to leave comments on posts that are written. So we want to set up the functionality for email notifications to members when those comments are left, both to the author or if you're following a post, and some other cool things that would relate to metadata such as upvoting and downvoting. So those are some things related to post comments that we hope to have completed by the end of the year. And then the next one here, enhanced newsletter reporting. More and more people are strictly using Brilliant Directories as their tool for sending newsletters. So we want to do a few things here. When you send a newsletter, you can see who opened and clicked, and then you can make segmented lists from that data. So if you want to then email again only people who clicked on a link in an email, you could then send a newsletter to them, as well as some other functionality related to newsletters. This next one's been highly popular, but we did hit some internal roadblocks with it. The ability to have coupon codes for one-off purchases. The one-off purchases on your website would be things like lead purchases, pay per post, the digital downloads. If people are purchasing those, we want to have the ability to have coupon codes for those available also by the end of the year. Improving page speed scores, it's been a theme today. That was a big push for the development team today. That batch of updates, we'll be continuing to work on those. And then lastly, we do have some really good suggestions from the community. A few have come in from the previous webinars. For example, the billing reminder emails, only sending them to based on the billing cycle, like monthly or yearly. And there are a few more top suggestions. We have all those noted with our team. So we're going to parse those out and see which ones we should prioritize to bring into the mix to complete by the year's end. So you guys are keeping us busy over here. We're really enjoying pushing all these updates and also your feedback on that. I will take a question or two if you have them about these updates before we move on to the tip of the week. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to raise your hand and I can unmute your microphone, and I'll just take one or two questions or comments here. Do we have a question there, David?
Yeah, we do have one typed in from Ryan Sullivan. It's a little technical question, but pretty good. He wanted to know if there was any reason why the content blocks that we currently have, none of them are Bootstrap, and if we do have any future plans to include Bootstrap content blocks.
That's a really good question. So the editor that we use is the Froella editor, and we want to provide blocks where our users don't have to worry about divs. And what Froella provides are tables. So with the tables, users can add a column, add a row. We hope, and we're keeping our version of Froella updated as they push updates. So if they, in the future, have toolbar options where you can add like a three column div or remove a 3-column div, we will look forward to adding that. But because they're more table focused, we are working within that to be able to provide that to the general users that we have. So it's basically what we can offer without forcing users to get too much into editing code in the code editor. They could just work with the text editor part of that. Hope that makes sense there. All right, we got a hand up here. Let's see. Colette's hand is up.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Very good, thanks. Just a quick question on page speed. I noticed the page speed of my website has increased wonderfully for desktop, but on mobile it's still very slow. Is there going to be a lot more on that?
Yeah, so the lazy load images, and I've checked out your site, Colette, it's the lazy load images that's going to have the best impact for a site like yours. So deferring images that are not in the viewport, the main view of this when the page is initially loading, is going to help with the scores tremendously. So I would look out for the next 2 or 3 weeks when we're pushing that update and compare your scores now till then. And then further after that, I'd be interested to kind of check out, for example, your homepage and see what other suggestions Google is providing to improve the scores.
Super, thanks very much.
You're welcome. Good stuff there, good questions. And yeah, we'll move on here. The big push for this week is the premium content blocks. It's about 27 new blocks. And I think, David, you've put together a small kind of presentation of kind of what you can do, types of pages you can create with this.
That's right. With a regular standalone web page builder, it is pretty flexible. It's very simple. It's familiar. It works just like Microsoft Word does. But when we introduced the basic content blocks, that really opened up a lot of flexibility to compiling really nice, modern, beautiful looking web pages. But it did still take a little bit of creativity and imagination to mold those default simple blocks into some more complex ones. And so with this premium web page content blocks add-on, we've added a lot more and some more complex ones. So you can either use them as they are, or you can further customize them. And so it offers even that much more flexibility because you do have such a wider variety of foundations to start from. So we went ahead, we found 3 web pages online that were modern looking, unique. And so the 3 of these pages are the About Us page, a team page, and a page listing off a company's services or features that are included in their product. So with the About page, the content that is consisting of that page is a hero section, some left and right aligned images and text that are alternating, some call to action buttons, as well as a CTA at the bottom of that page.
And I'll pull up that page, David. So this is not a BD website. This was like the website you found online, and we wanted to see if we could emulate a similar layout for a page like this, right?
That's right. And so as we're going through this page and the following 2 pages, this one was made primarily with the default blocks. I think the only one of the new premium batch that we used was that call to action at the bottom of the page. So you can see here on the page that we made on a BD site, it looks almost identical to it. So you can really see the flexibility that you have just with the standalone default content blocks. But going into the other 2, you'll see they're a little bit more complex and they utilize a lot more of those premium blocks.
Let's take a look at this in the admin. So this is a BD site here, and this was the main website. And yeah, it does look nice and clean. All right, let's head on over to the web page builder. And this was the our core beliefs. So let's just take a look at what this looks like in the editor. Okay, great. And what's cool here, guys, if you ever need a bit more space in your admin area, this menu actually slides closed by clicking on this kind of hamburger here. So you can kind of get a bit more space if you might be on a smaller monitor there. So Dave, you utilize the hero section here, right, as well?
Correct.
The title.
Yeah, which displays the H1 and the H2 of the page, the title
Gotcha.
and subtitle.
Okay, pretty cool. Let's go to, I guess, the next example.
Yeah, so the second page, a team page, this one consists again of a hero section, but also a list of team members, some core values, an embedded video called a handshake video, kind of like basically an about us video version. And then the page finishes with a CTA to get started with the company. So we recreated that on this BD site as well.
All right, so this is the not BD site. This is just a page you found online, and this is how they had their Teams page set up, right?
Correct. So they start with that heroes, what we'll call a hero section.
Right.
Their list of team members here, which is a pretty simple layout, a list of core values. They have that embedded video along with a message next to it. And below that video, those little triangles, that's just an image that they have. Below that is kind of like an expanded version of their core values, just some additional information. And then the page finalizes with a call to action. So finishing the pages with a call to action is a pretty common theme.
And this is what we've created.
That's right. So again, we utilized the hero section, which is just part of the web page builder. It's not part of the content blocks. And then we recreated that layout that they have with their team members. We only did 6. I think they had 8 team members. So simplified it a little bit. And then again, we kind of recreated their core values section along with the handshake video and with the text to the left of it and that little image that they had below. And then the kind of expanded version of their core values here. And finally, culminating with that call to action again.
Nice. Let's take a look at this one in the web page builder. And this one search engine marketers, David?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
And so here, one of the new premium content blocks, there's several for Teams page. And so it was that first one with the 3 columns, the 3 faces, and we basically just duplicated it. So we dragged it in twice and we added a background color to each cell. And we replaced the images. We moved the text above the image, messed with the colors a little bit and the font size, and that was really it. So this content block worked as a great starting point for this.
Awesome.
And then going down here, this area started with a left aligned image and a right aligned text. Dragged that in and basically replaced the image with text and made it really big to say core values. And the text on the right, we just added in, it's just some normal text. And the way we got that check mark is we clicked on the star icon in the toolbar to pick an icon. And then these icons are all basically text characters. So you can change the color of these as well. So we made them into that kind of goldish brown color and then added some bold text beside that. The next section, this one again started with a right aligned image and some left aligned text. Again, messed with some of the font sizes, the colors. We dragged an image, replaced the stock image for those triangles that they had on their website. And then right above that, we embedded a video. So we grabbed their video, and one of the default content blocks is a video. So you can drag that right in wherever you want to embed a video, and then you can drag the corner of that video to resize it as well. So again, a lot of flexibility in this particular section, utilized one of the premium content blocks with one of the default blocks.
And when you drag this video, I'll just drag it in here as an example. Yeah, you can enlarge it. Well, that wasn't a good spot to drop it. Let me go down here. So let's drop it down here. Yeah, what you did is you stretched it, David, you're saying?
That's right.
And then you can click on this replace button here, and you can put the YouTube URL of another video. So it'll replace this kind of default one that you dragged in here. So if you have your own, you can do that, or you can use embed code. So if you're using Wistia or Vimeo or another tool that provides video embed code, you can drop in the embed code here just to replace the default video that's here when you drag in this element.
And that works the same with the images as well. You can click on one of the default images from the content block that you dragged over, and then you can just replace that default image. You can either upload a new one, or if you're using an image that's already on another website, you can just copy and paste the URL of that image as well. So a lot of different options, a lot of flexibility. And with this next section, this one, we could have just created a 2-column table ourselves using the basic features in this WYSIWYG editor, the text editor here. But what we ended up doing was we used a left-aligned image and a right-aligned text content block, dragged that over, got rid of the image and just replaced that with the "we believe" text. And what's great about these content blocks is because they do utilize tables, you can just drag the columns within the tables to make one wider or one more narrow. So we made the "we believe" column more narrow, and the column on the right with a lot of text much wider, just like they had on their website. And then we just pasted in the text, again, messed with the font size and the colors. And then right below that, we dragged in one of the call to action content blocks. And I believe all of our call to action content blocks use button links. So all we did was we replaced the button link with just a normal link. So you don't have it looking like a button. Because on their website, they just have a normal text link like you see here. So a lot of what goes into really making these web pages look more modern, look unique, is utilizing these background colors for some of the cells if you want to make certain sections stand out more. And then also messing with the text size and the font families that you're using, as well as adding some colors. So like if maybe one of your primary colors of your website is blue, maybe for some of these headings on your web pages, you want to make them blue instead of just leaving them black. It might help tie everything together and make everything look a little bit more modern.
Very nice. All right, and the last one here was a list of services or features. This might be benefits of joining your community, what people can stand to get from becoming a member or participating. So what kind of elements did we have on this kind of page, David?
Yeah, so here we start with an introductory CTA. This page doesn't have a hero section. Below that call to action is one large primary image. Then we include some brand icons, then a left and right aligned image with text. Again, this is alternating down the web page, but we have a little bit of a variation with this. Instead of just being standard text, we also include a couple bullets with each section. Then we have a couple internal links linking to some additional pages on our website. Below that, we have a testimonial. And then again, finalizing the page, we have a getting started call to action. So like Jason said, this is based off of a page on Upflow, which is a software, but you can utilize the same layout to list the benefits that your membership directory is offering, or if you want to give people kind of a walkthrough of what they can expect in their member dashboard, you could do that as well.
All right, so this is, again, not the BD site. This was Upflow's custom website and a landing page they have. So let's scroll down this page together. So they have a nice big image kind of showing what the platform looks like, an image of the, I guess, brands that use this service, Upflow. And then here we have some text with some icon images. These are icon images, and then a larger image on the right. A lot of landing pages are just text left, image right, and just making sure that it's easy and clear to read. Same thing here, just opposite, more opposites, centered item. This is a cool effect they have. And here is a testimonial, as David mentioned. And lastly, a call to action here to request a demo. So let's take a look at the page we created here. Let's scroll up to the top. So this is the BD landing page now. So we have here like a centered call to action to request a demo, a large screenshot image of the service, of what the platform looks like. And we have a list of the brands. This is an image. Each one is an image of the brands utilizing the platform. And then here, David, you've put text left with the icons with an image right, and that's going to switch as we scroll down the page. More icons, text, more icons, and we can scroll down. Here are two options to funnel down to. And if we scroll down, here is the testimonial and then a call to action with the two buttons here. So I'm actually interested to see how you created this page, David. It seems like it's utilizing some of the more robust blocks. Let's go back here.
Yeah, so this page, I would argue, looks the most complex, but it was actually the simplest and fastest one to make. All of these were pretty quick to make, but this one was definitely the quickest because we already had some of those premium blocks already in place. So this first one, I believe, was just a call to action block.
This one right here.
Yeah, exactly. So drag that in, edit the title, the text, the button link. Below that is just a standard image. So we just used the basic image content block, drag that in, replaced the default image in there. And then again, you drag the corner and you can expand it to make it take up the full width of the page or however big you want it to be. And below that, this one did take a little bit of tweaking. What we did for this is right on the one that Jason's hovering on, the second feature content block. We dragged that over. Now this one only has 4 columns. I believe the number of brand icons that they had was 6 or 7. So what you can do is, again, because these are just tables, you can click inside of the table and you can add a column to the end of it. So we inserted a couple columns and then we deleted the second row because we only need 1 row of icons. And so what we did after that, because there's no text in this, only images of the brand logos, is we just got rid of all the text in there and then replaced the default images with the brand logos.
Gotcha.
So again, this one took a little bit of tweaking, but it's all very simple and pretty quick.
Nice. And then if you're seeing that things aren't lining up, sometimes you can do the vertical align middle on all these, something like this, or there might be an extra space in there. That's not being a little finicky. There we go. So then after that, you clicked here and you clicked on replace and you had the logo images ready, right, David?
Exactly. So you can just drag and drop it from your computer right into this little pop-up here.
Okay, great. And let's scroll down here.
And so the layout of this is a little different from what Uplift has on their page. They had the 2 bullets, I believe, right next to each other. Because we don't have that as an option for our premium content blocks, we have one very similar in this exact layout. So this works just as well. So we just dragged this over. Exactly, it was that content block. We replaced that tall iPhone image with the square screenshot that Uplift has on their page. We replaced the text and we replaced those smaller icon images as well. Again, what Uplift has on their site, it looks pretty different, or at least a little different from the default content block. But what makes up a lot of that difference is just the text sizing and the colors. So I think one of the big takeaways here is realizing how much more modern you can make web pages look just by playing with the font sizing and the colors and making sure you have really high quality images and icons to go along with all of that.
And then of course you just chose the opposite one as you scroll down.
Exactly.
And one more time here, it does look nice. It looks nice when you can find icons. There's a lot of sites where you can find stock images for icons. And then this one here, David, the 2 options.
Yeah, so this one, we don't have a content block that looks exactly like this, but you can see this is a table with 5 columns. So you could either take this content block that Jason's showing right now and drag that over. Yeah, that's the content block that we used. But what we did was we played with the widths of these columns because we don't have as much content. We don't have as much text for this section. We wanted those 2 buttons or those 2 links closer together. So we played with the width of the columns and we shortened up the text and we replaced the images in there with the circular images that Uplift had on their page. And again, for the heading, our default heading for this section, it's all just one font family. Uplift had a bigger, bolder heading and then a smaller, narrower subheading. So we added that in there as well. And again, that's just playing with the font size and the colors and bolding and unbolding.
Right, and so we could just make this smaller here. Let's make it 20, and it would do something like that.
Exactly.
Okay, very good.
And
the testimonial.
The testimonial, I really like how this turned out. We don't have a testimonial content block. I suppose maybe that would be one that we could add in the future. But what we did with this one, yeah, that content block, basically just left aligned image, right aligned text. We replaced the image with that one that you see on the left-hand side there. And for the text, instead of, we didn't need an image to have that big quotation mark icon, if you want to call it that. Really, that's just text. So we typed in the quotation marks. We made the text as big as we could. We changed the color to kind of like a navy blue. And then for the text, we made it a little bit bigger than you'd probably think to, but it really does make an impact. We made the first part of that section bold like Upflow had. And then below that, we included this person's name and I guess their business, and we made that text smaller as well. So again, a lot of this is just playing with font sizing, colors, and boldness. And at the bottom of the page is a call to action section. So what we did with this, we have a call to action, that one exactly, with text on the left and a button on the right. We don't have one with 2 buttons on the right, but all we needed to do was, again, because this is a table, we can just insert a column on the right, and then we can drag in a button link. And that's really all there is to it. And then again, we played with these columns. We changed the text on the buttons. We changed the colors. We changed the text on the left. Instead of just having a big heading, we also added some smaller text, a little subheading below that. And then for all 3 of these columns in this table, we added a background color to make it look that dark navy blue.
Gotcha. So yeah, Ryan, to your point, we're working a little bit within the confines of this Froella editor, and I'm with you that Bootstrap divs would be ideal, but they haven't yet made it available to, again, add a column, remove a column, like a 3-column div and things like that. So we're trying to utilize the tools that just enough to make everyone dangerous with their web page, landing page creation here. And yeah, Dave, this was actually pretty easy to make this like this. I just kind of replicated what you had here. So great work on that. And yeah, some of the things that we recommend doing is also utilizing this on your homepage as custom homepage content. And really the goal of landing pages are to share information. It could be an FAQ, it could be your mission or about us, but then also to get people to want to click on buttons, click on links, and get into the internal pages of your website. So think about some of those ideas. Even the Teams blocks, those could be used instead of Teams. Those could be to highlight features. It's just the way that it's laid out. By default, we recommend using it for maybe your team or staff page, but you can totally repurpose those for any other ideas you have to use for those blocks. And what we'll do here is we will pass it over to you guys. We do have some time left for some Q&A. I do see Stephanie has her hand up. If you do have some questions, we'll take a question from as many people as we can. And Stephanie, we'll start with you.
Excellent, thank you. On the dashboard, the user dashboard, you have the verification part of the system where if you need somebody to verify information, they can fill out that form.
Yes, so that was a feature we originally created with Brilliant Directories. So if you wanted people to submit additional information to you for additional verification, like their contractor license number and things like that, so you can mark them as truly verified on your site, that is what that tool is for.
Right. Would you consider in the future allowing the ability for them to upload documents?
I think that's a great place to allow it. Let me make a note of that. Just a moment here. Find method to upload attachments with member verification form. I'll mention that to the team.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great work, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, good suggestion there from Stephanie. Sujit, we have Sujit here, unmuting your microphone.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you today?
Good, Jason. How are you?
Good, thank you. What's your question for us?
A quick question is this premium blogs available on blogs?
Good question. We've been hearing that more and more, that users would like the pre-made blocks available on the blogs. Let me also mention that to the team. It's not available right now, but
Right.
make pre-made elements available with
So
the
something like a menu, like if we can create a menu on the blog, like a menu structure. That would be a nice pre-made block.
a table of contents.
Table of contents. That's the one.
Table of contents. Yeah, that actually is something else that's missing in the Fruela editor. I'm also going to make a note here, being able to assign an ID tag to elements, so you can do, the internal linking. So it's
right.
like
I'm manually doing at the moment, so I'm
you're
doing
manually,
it. Yeah,
right,
I'm doing
you
it.
can, I'm with you. Yeah, you can do the link, but you can't add the ID tag to like an
No.
H2 or something. Okay, more good suggestions here. Thank you, Sujit.
No problem. Thank you.
Cheers. Yeah, just to show you, Sujit, I think if we get it working where you can have the pre-made elements in the Fruela editor of the admin, we would do it something like this, where there isn't room for the sidebar, but we do have this method. Let me show you real quick. Let me go to the membership plans. What we would do is add it as a toolbar option. I'll just scroll down here. There's an editor here. So we have it here as a toolbar option. You click pre-made elements and you get the pop-up here, and then being able to drag it into your blog post. So I'm with you there. I'm going to mention if we can extend this into the admin version of the editor, which is for the blogs. All right, great suggestions today. Thank you. I saw Tim, you had your hand up. Oh, same question. I see. Yeah, we will mention it to the team there. All right, and let's see here. Colette, we got your hand up again.
Yes, hi Jason. A question about the phone number showing on the member's profile. I do have the click to call add-on, but the second phone number is showing just as the phone number. It used to be a click to call as well. I'm not sure if that was customized, but now it is just showing as a normal phone number. Can that be changed?
I think it was customized. I think this also came up in the previous webinar. Just the main phone number utilizes the click to call functionality.
Oh, okay. So there's no option of that being changed in the future?
So this would be an additional phone number that shows in the overview tab of the member, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, let me, if form field is set to phone number, field type, hang on, field type and click to call enabled, make this render as a click to call button. I understand. Let me just make a note here. If additional form fields is fields, okay. Good stuff there. I will share it with the team. These are good
Great.
suggestions.
And the one other thing is the website link in that overview section too. I know there's been talk about that just being a website icon and not the full website URL.
What would represent the icon?
Either an icon or a button or something, because some website URLs are really long and it looks quite ugly showing on their profile.
I hear you. Okay. Website, form field. Okay. Don't have any promises on these, but form field, website address, links. I think
even if it's a button that says view website or visit website.
Right, like a text label, that could be purpose. Every button would have, okay. That one requires a few extra fields for the button classes, and then also the text that you want it to say. Sometimes it would be like schedule appointment or view website or follow me on, you know, different things like that. So we would need a method to add a custom text there. Okay.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, guys, it looks like we are just over the time limit. We covered a lot today. Look at all these fantastic suggestions in just a short Q&A that we have here. We will send this to the team and see what we can prioritize, what some of the low-hanging fruit is that we can add for you, and what we should just put on the list for a future update. We will look into making sure that everyone that should have access to the premium content blocks has access to them in your web page builder. Lots of great updates coming down the line. If we didn't get to your question, please feel free to ask them in the Facebook group following this webinar. You can head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. So on behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, we love you guys. It's been a great webinar. We'll see you in 2 weeks. And until then, have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.